And we are live. What's going on? It's Chris and Will from Lifter LMS, and you know what day it is? It's Feature Friday. And today we're going to go over one of the most popular features of Lifter LMS, phrased as a question, which is, how do I sell continuing education annually, where my students need to recertify and get new continuing education units or CEU credits every single year? Lifter LMS makes that easy with the course cohorts feature. We're going to show you exactly how to do that today. Over to you, Will.
Sorry, I was copying the name of the course. Awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. So let me share my screen here. We are taking a look at the back end of one of the Lifter LMS demo sites that I've generated for this example. And so what we're going to be doing in this example for continuing education each year is we're going to be talking about CPR training. That's a good example of a course that needs to be re-upped every year. Chris had mentioned for people who work in public, CPR training is a big deal, a popular one. So let's dive into that. So I've renamed one of my courses CPR 2024. Let me actually take a look at my catalog. I'm going to do the financial independence course. That one's going to be the one I rename CPR 2024 because that's right at the top of the list. I'm going to throw this one in the trash. So we have this example. We're now running an online course site that has a CPR 2024 course. And let's imagine that we are nearing the end of 2024 and we need to get ready to have our cohort ready for 2025. Now, Lifter LMS has an add-on called Lifter LMS Course Cohorts, or Lifter LMS Cohorts, that makes this process extremely easy. When this add-on is installed and activated, all we need to do with our CPR 2024 course is notice this area here that says new cohort. We can click new cohort and let's create our 2025 CPR course right now. So this little setup wizard is going to take us through the process to create our new cohort. We're going to create cohort, give our cohort a name. This will be CPR 2025. Save and continue. And the nice thing about Lifter LMS cohorts, or one of the nice things about cohorts, is it allows you to set an enrollment period. So you can say that this course will only be eligible for enrollment during a certain time. In this case, I'm not going to do that, but if you did want to set a date range where people could enroll, you could check the box and select the date range where people are allowed to enroll. And same thing with course time period. In a CPR 2025 course, I'm going to leave this unchecked for now because I'd imagine if someone wanted to complete it in January 2026, I'm not going to cut them off at the end of 2025. But if you did want to say that this course is only available from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, you could create that restriction very easily with that tool. Now it's time to set the previous cohort visibility. So imagining we're at the end of 2024, and let's say it's December 31st, 2024 right now, and I'm about to go into 2025. I want to go ahead and hide this course from the catalog, right? Because here on the course catalog, we see CPR 2024, and we're about to see CPR 2025, but we don't want to see both at the same time. We only want students to be enrolling in one. So let's go ahead and check that box. And what that's going to do is hide this 2024 course from the catalog. So let's save and continue. And if you'd like to have both displayed at the same time, you could absolutely do that. But in my case, I'm going to hide it. So I'm going to go ahead and exit my setup. I'll just take me to the cohort. So this is going to create a draft course of my CPR 2025. So I'm going to need to make sure to click publish on that, click update, make sure everything is good. And I'd probably want to update my course description. I might want to update some of my course content. And that's one of the nice things about cohorts is it actually creates a cloned copy of your course. If I go to my courses list, I see I've got my CPR 2024 down here and CPR 2025 at the top. These are separate courses, and the CPR training standards might actually change year over year, so I can change 2025 without affecting the 2024 course. That's a really cool thing about it. But let me go to my catalog now and reload. We should have 2024, you saw it disappeared, and 2025 is the only one in the catalog now. So new students are they're not going to notice any difference. They're just going to see the course that they're able to enroll in. But you see, as a WordPress admin, what just happened on the back end is we hid the 2024, and now 2025 is visible. And the last piece of this puzzle is we're going to need a 2025 certificate. So in Lifter LMS, under engagement certificates is where we have our certificate templates, where if let's change this to my CPR. Well, I could just do a new one. I'm just going to do a new one. I'm not going to rename an old one. Let's just make a new certificate template. This will be my CPR 2025 certificate. And so we could give it a title. We have our display name. This is the Lifter LMS preset certificate, but you do have a bunch of merge codes and short codes from Lifter LMS. The merge codes pertain to the certificate itself, and the short codes pertain to the user data. So if you happen to be using something like Lifter LMS custom fields, you could be collecting custom data from the user and put that on a certificate too. But this is about the user specifically, and the merge codes are about the certificate specifically. So there's a couple of these codes you can use when you're dynamically generating these certificates. So it's going to say earn date. It's going to take whatever the date is when the certificate is awarded and actually put a date right there. User display name is going to take the WordPress user display name. You can see mine is Arthur Wells. It would put Arthur Wells right there instead of the short code. So there's a lot of interesting setups you can create with these merge codes and short codes. But for this certificate, what we want to say is that this is going to be valid for 1 year after date. Above. Yeah, maybe something like that. So this is going to be the earn date of the certificate, and this is a CPR course that's going to be valid for 1 year certification after completing the course. So that looks good. Valid for 1 year after the date above. Presented to display name. So this would be the CPR 2025 is my certificate title. Let's publish this thing and take a look at a preview real quick. Make sure it looks good. See if I need to make any editing changes. It looks okay for now. I could change the background, I could change the spacing, but I'm pretty happy with what this looks like for now. CPR 2025, valid for 1 year after this date. And so now I need to link my certificate to my course that I just created, the CPR 2025. So we're going to go to Engagements, Add New. Now that my certificate is created, so we're going to say Award Certificate for CPR 2025 course. We're going to select the triggering event, which is student completes a course. Select which course is going to be CPR 2025. CPR 2025. And what we're going to do when they complete CPR 2025 is we're going to award the CPR 2025 certificate. Publish that. I'll review this logic here in a second, because the Lifter LMS engagement system is one I recommend you take some time to look at and play around with. We have a triggering event. We have which course is associated with this triggering event. And then what happens when that triggering event happens is a certificate is awarded, and then we select the certificate that we just created. Lifter LMS Engagements offers a lot of complex and cool functionality that you can add to your online course site. So I recommend playing around with that a bit more to see what you can unlock. But now we have our 2025 course. At completion of that course, we have a new certificate, and it's now on the course catalog for students to enroll in, because we can easily create our cohorts. And this is going to be easy because when 2026 rolls around, we're going to do the exact same thing. Cohort the course, create a new certificate for 2026, and we are good to go. I don't know, Chris, does that cover how to address that use case?
Yeah, that covers it. And just to go over a couple little nuances, this is great because even though you hide the previous course, the student still has access to their past certificate and course on their dashboards. So all that data and history is still there. And it's also in the website reporting and analytics. So you can see who your repeat customers are in your annual continuing education credit training. If you have any questions about that, just reach out to Lifter LMS. You can email us anytime at help@lifterlms.com. We also have some blog content and other videos on creating continuing education recertification. So check out our website at lifterlms.com. Search the knowledge base. You'll find more useful material around cohorts. We've linked some of those resources up in the chat around this video. So that's it for this Feature Friday. And I want to encourage you, we also put a link in the chat to go to the Lifter LMS community events page on our website. And you'll see on there our Feature Friday schedule. In the next Feature Friday, we are going to be talking about how to restrict pages with the built-in Lifter LMS membership system. So check that out and go ahead and check out the community events calendar. If you like live Lifter LMS calls and demonstrations like this. We have other events like that you can come to. But that's it for this Feature Friday. And smash the like button, drop a comment down below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I hope you have a great rest of your Friday. Take care.